Welcome everyone to a new series on the channel. Now, I know it's been a while since my last real video, over 6 months in fact, but I'm back and ready to pump out some high quality content. Now, you may be wondering what this series is. I'll put it plain and simple. This is an SMP series. But fret not, there's a lot that makes this more interesting than what you might find on other people's channels. Let me tell you what will make this series stand apart from the rest. First and foremost, you're going to be stuck with me. That's right, I'm going to be right here narrating the whole thing. That means for each video, I'll have written a full script, just as I have with this one. Hopefully this will make the content more entertaining for you all. Secondly, this server is full to the brim of great personalities, many of whom I'll be introducing later. Do you remember Context Eliet from the No Jumping Challenge? Well, he's a co-owner of this server alongside yours truly. Apart from him and I, there are 11 others who will be partaking in the survival Minecraft experience, and I can tell you now, each of them are great people. Finally, we are using a proximity-based voice chat mod, which makes for some fun interactions. The server is also going to be focused mainly on having fun in content creation. Will there be lore? Maybe, if individuals want to do so. Will there be conflicts? Maybe, if we all agree in the name of fun. No griefing, no looting, and certainly no needless killing will ruin the fun this server has to offer. So with all of that out of the way, let me introduce you to the Outcast SMP, Episode 1. Let me set the stage for you. I spent the last week setting up this server. I spent a full day recording the footage for and making the trailer. I spent time and money getting the server up to boot and helping people install their voice chat mods. Me and Elliot went through dozens of applications, scouring them all, finally deciding on a cast of 11 others to join us on our journey. Finally, we also figured out the best time for the server premiere, and that was going to be at 3 p.m. After all of this effort I've put into the project as the main owner and manager of the server, you'd think that I would be eagerly awaiting the dawn of the server, right? Wrong. 3 p.m. rolled around and I was asleep. That's right. What started as a tiny nap at noon had stretched past the start of the server. I woke up at 3:40 and felt like an idiot. All in all, the start of the server was a disaster. The lag was unreal and the server continuously crashed. Some people couldn't even join. Feeling the weight of everyone's anticipation on my shoulders, I finally said fuck it and shut it down, canceling the server. Word of advice? Never get a server from Shockbyte. After about 30 minutes of pain, I finally got an Lagiarathalos server set up and everything was ready to go. With a valiant cry, I screamed, "Take 2!" And believe it or not, everyone had stuck around. After switching over, things went smoothly. Everybody gathered their wood and I quickly headed down to the mines in search of riches. It wasn't long before I'd found some iron and a few diamonds, but my real goal wasn't to search for loot. This is the time when I should probably key you in on a little secret. You see, I had a plan for the start of the season, and this plan was going to be brilliant. It all starts with a person named XYXeno. XYXeno and I have been longtime friends, and I really wanted to base with him. But if I'm being completely honest, like a smitten schoolgirl trying to work up the nerve to ask out her crush, I was simply too embarrassed to come out and tell him this. So fueled by my social anxiety, I had to come up with another idea. And come up with another idea I did. You see, Zeno is a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan. He spends most of his time drawing pirate ships at various angles and sketching all manner of cutlass and rapier. In fact, his love of the Pirates franchise extended beyond the Disney movies and now he just likes pirates in general. So, knowing this, my plan was simple. I was just going to mention in passing to him that I was going to be building a pirate bay as a starter base. Hopefully he would get excited and ask to join me, thus avoiding all of the embarrassment of asking him myself. Truth be told, I thought the pirate's life was stupid. It seemed to me like it would be all scurvy and bad breath and weevil-infested hardtack. But this is what had to be done if I wanted to get the attention of Zeno. So I set out in a rickety wooden boat nonetheless, off to explore the seas. Unfortunately, this plan had one big problem. Zeno wasn't online. He was having issues after joining during the first 30 minutes when shit hit the fan and logged off for the day. This was an absolute travesty. What this meant was that I would have to begin progress on the starter base myself, a base I wasn't even remotely interested in. But I had already set sail and there was no turning back now. It wasn't long before I found the perfect spot. A bay opened inward to a lush jungle. As I steered my boat into the calm and shallow water, I realized quickly that this is where I would build the pirate's lair. Suddenly I could envision it all in my head. A Caribbean town would rest against a cliff face on the right. A fishing hut would sit on the northern peninsula. A large pirate ship in the center of the bay would complete the ensemble. It was all coming together now. Maybe I could throw in a lagoon and some shipwrecks and perhaps even some hot springs. I had to shake my head and remind myself, that I was no pirate. I was just doing it for Xeno. But already I could hear the pirate's life calling to me in the distance, like a siren. For now though, I needed to begin work on the starter home. I decided to begin with a tiny fishing hut. I started by clearing up the entrance to the bay, then I laid the foundations for my home. The only part of the house I could envision in my mind was the dock, so that's what I worked on first. Made from spruce trapdoors and campfires, I extended the wobbly wooden pier into the cold, frothy ocean and gave it some support pillars. After it was done, I realized the fishing hut was still just a square of dirt thrown on the ground. I began placing spruce wood, then jungle logs. I mixed in some oak on the roof and then used trapdoors for windows. Before I knew it, I had created a beautiful little house. I extended a rocky path from the doorway and stood back to admire the view. I had lost track of time. It was as if the process of me building this hut was nothing but a blur. As if I was actually enjoying building the pirate lair, which had only been a method of convincing Xeno to base with me. But there was a bigger issue. I was running low on food. Suddenly, I realized I had just built a fishing hut. Why not fish? I crafted from the corpse of a spider a fishing rod and sat at the end of my dock casting lines into the churning sea. Little did I know, but beneath the waves sat a shipwreck. Somehow my line must have caught the debris from this long-forgotten crash, because despite the goal of my fishing expedition being to solely catch fish, I could catch nothing but valuable items. First came a Power 3 flame bow, then a tripwire hook. Eventually I resorted to the old-fashioned technique of diving into the water with an axe and slaughtering the fish beneath the waves. It worked like a charm. Now, my next goal was to set up a little farm behind the hut where I could grow some wheat. Unfortunately, I didn't have any seeds. I started journeying through the jungle on a quest to touch grass, mowing every lawn I could find and gathering as many seeds as possible. But it was while I was crawling through the thick vines surrounded by jungle trees that I heard a strange noise. It sounded like a cry. I could barely make it out through the thick vegetation. I moved closer to the source, eager to see what it could be. I ran around a corner and saw in front of me a beautiful white parrot. I looked at the seeds in my hand, then back at the parrot. I could hear a pirate's chant in the background. Already I was being transformed. I tried to resist the urge, struggling as hard as I could. But that day, I ended up giving all of my seeds to that greedy parrot. And yeah, that's my goal. Ooh, mangrove. I'm not going in there. It's somewhere else. Let's... No. Greedy little fish. Okay. I better take this. Go ahead and dance with me. If you take one more seat, I'm just going to show you. Okay, this is my last straw here. Yeah, I have 4 seeds. I'm just going to try them all. Oh, me. A pirate needs a parrot. Get on my shoulder. Oh. Yes. By the time I returned from my pilgrimage, I had an army of 3 parrots and 0 seeds to my name. Looking back, I think this was the moment I truly became a pirate. Any reservations I had about building the lair were gone. This was my sole goal now, my only reason for living. All that was missing was the eye patch and the hook. Now, I was truly ready to embrace the pirate lifestyle. I started this new journey by building my farm. I set up some ruined cobblestone walls and some wheat seeds amongst the tilled soil. Then I added the water and an item frame for my hoe. After setting out some barrels, this house was starting to look a lot more like home. I should probably mention that I've never really built anything decorative in Minecraft before, so for me, I was really happy with how this all turned out. Now, up until this point, I hadn't really met up with anyone else on the server. Xeno still hadn't rejoined, but at this point I was building the pirate base for me and me alone. However, I still wanted to hang out with some of the other server members, so I invited them over to my base. The first to show up was Context Eliet. Like I said before, you may remember him from the No Jumping Challenge. He also has a YouTube and a Twitch channel where he was streaming it all live. I highly recommend you check him out. If you're unfamiliar with the name, let me introduce you to this man. Context Eliet, also known as Elliot Spencer, is a genuine Dr. Pepper addict. According to his introduction on the Outcast Discord server, he speaks ill of the government on camera a lot and expresses interest in having sex with men, despite being too much of a pussy to go through with it. Those are his words, not mine. Just as I was saying hello to my neighbor, I heard the sounds of an approaching boat and saw another visitor. Allow me to introduce you to Danterus. Danterus is a bona fide genius. When it comes to programming clients and anything Minecraft related, you name it and the man can do it. He's currently working on a project called Source Client, a client for 1.8 PvP. A man with his intellect stands out amongst the sea of dumbasses that is the rest of the Outcast SMP. You should go check him out. Anyway, both of these guys showed up at my base, and they wanted the full fishing tour. So hell, I handed them some rods and fed them for a lifetime. We could feel it in the breeze. It was a perfect day for a big catch. As we sat there fishing, a strange sense of calm washed over us all. It was as if the sea was calling, each wave a gentle breath.
It's honestly almost exactly like the one that we found on Pixel SMP.
Oh no, my
It's
fishing
on
rod
a
broke.
meadow mountain and everything.
Daniel, do you like my little house over here?
Yeah, I like the shipwreck.
I did not build that one, but
That's my favorite
Yeah,
part
I
of the
know.
whole build.
Despite the fact that Danterus didn't like my house, it was peaceful then, just 3 men standing on a dock, staring at the sunset, fishing away. I had come full circle now. This was what the pirate's life was about. This was why Xeno was so enticed by the seas. It was all so clear now. As the sun set that night, I realized something. I would have to tell Xeno the truth. It was only right. If I was going to base with him, I would need to confess, to lay it all on the table. There was no more room for trickery, despite how much of a pirate I had become. As soon as I saw Xeno log on, I ushered the others away. I would need privacy for this. As I was mentally preparing myself for the moment of truth, I saw a silhouette on the horizon, and there he was, Xeno. A majestic figure boating in from lands afar, putting me to shame with his own pirate's grace. He walked up to my base, and then I began to talk.
this is my little fishing hut. You know, you got your fishing pole here, so you can sit at the end of your dock and, I don't know, fish. Got a little farm back here. Not very efficient, but it looks nice. I also got some parrots, because parrots are cool. But they are very annoying, I have learned.
This was going horribly. For some reason his microphone wasn't working properly. Nothing was according to plan. I scrambled and hopped in a Discord call with him, and then I began from the top.
What do you think of my humble abode, my starter home?
I think it is quite nice.
Thank you, thank you.
I will build an imperial fort across the bay out of something that looks like a British fort, and I'm going to build a ship of the line.
Alright, I'll tell you what my my little envision in my head was. So, like, this would be the entrance to the bay here. We'd probably have to widen it a bit. And then on this side, over here where the nether portal currently is, I would build up, like, a bit a ways back from the beach, I'd build up like a cliff, and on this side of the cliff bordering the bay, we would have like the fort, like you said, and then like a whole town and like a shipping docks and stuff.
Because over and a ways away, like down the coast a long ways, I'll build like a pentagonal British fort with a, like...
Okay, that could be cool, yeah.
It had all gone swimmingly. Xeno was excited to build with me and even had a plan of his own for a fort on the coastline. As we talked on the sandy beach of what was soon to become our own pirate lair, we were nothing but enthralled with the pirate's life, so much so that we began to even speak like pirates.
Oh, it's reloading my game.
Oh, it's
Just
fine.
talking to him.
Some of these quarters are weird, though. This one doesn't say a state or anything. It's a picture of a guy with a drum, and that's it.
Okay.
Virginia.
I gotta-
What?
Whenever you click on a bed, and it's not night. It says, "You can't nap till the moon comes out, till the moon comes, or the storm hits hard."
Dude, that hits hard.
I think it was this that helped us cement ourselves as true crewmates. No amount of plunder, sailing, or rum drinking could have gotten us here. But now we were once and for all true scallywags. It was only right to celebrate with a shanty.
I'm sorry, but I think I should let you know, music discs are called shanties.
What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning?
If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching. There are bigger and better things to come from this series, so make sure to subscribe to watch as we grow a pirate empire and keep up to date on all the adventures of the Outcast SMP. I know this was a rather short video, but more is to come in the near future, and believe me, you will want to be around for the next journey. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today, and until next time, see ya.